Fit and 10 Nation, it is day 55 of the Fit and 10 Challenge, and I am going to get right into superfood number 2. All right, this is my number 2 superfood. This is a pretty tough list because, I could probably think about 25 foods that are, like really good as a superfood. But I'm going to talk about berries today. Yeah, berries in general. Things like blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries. But there's a lot of different berries. So let's go through some of these good properties and some of the stuff that that they have that makes them so special. So berries are generally high in antioxidants. They're high in things like anthocyanin, ellagic acid, and resveratrol. Now, interestingly enough, if you look up these things and you look at like the actual effects they have on the body in terms of like their, whether it's like life extending or cancer prevention, there really is no proof of this, okay? There is really, it's all just theory. And in fact, it looks as though when a lot of this stuff gets digested, it's not the same compound anymore. So you can put this stuff into like in vitro, speaking, and it does stuff, like it does these good things. But when you consume it, when a human consumes it, it changes. It's no longer the same product. It gets broken down. Things get affected. It gets affected by enzymes, and just through the whole digestive process. So it doesn't really have the same benefit. So when you look at things like cancer prevention and skin care and diabetes and well, let's actually leave diabetes out there because there are some things. But when it comes to diabetes and the antioxidant aspect of it, when you look at cardiovascular studies, neurological studies, there is really nothing to support this. So anyways, just kind of food for thought. I'm not saying antioxidants aren't good, but maybe they're played out to be more important than they actually are. All right, let's talk about some other things about it. They are low carb, low calorie, high fiber. This is really, really important. So let's go through a few different berries in a 100-gram serving. So we're talking 100-gram servings here. Raspberries have 12 grams of carbs and 7 grams of fiber. Blackberries have 10 grams carbs, 5 grams of fiber. Strawberries have 7 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber. Blueberries have 15 grams of carbs and 2.5 grams of fiber, okay? And again, I'm keeping my list pretty short here in terms of berries. I realize there's many other berries out there, but these are common, and these are the berries that I eat on a regular basis, daily, basically. So that's great. What's so great about fiber? Well, we know for sure it increases satiety. We know it makes you feel fuller. We know that it slows down the digestion of food. We know that it helps to slow down the release of sugar into the bloodstream, which is good because this is going to help prevent fat loss. This is going to help stabilize blood sugar levels. This is going to help prevent diabetes. Okay. So high in fiber, this is great, right? They're also high in vitamin C, generally speaking, manganese and vitamin K1. It has been proven to lower inflammation in the body, so different inflammatory markers in the body. And it also lowers your so-called bad cholesterol carriers, your low-density lipoproteins. Like I said, I'm not really sure if LDL is really a concern. The latest that I've heard on it is that it's a concern that your LDL levels are a concern when you have a culmination of other things that go along with it, like diabetes and high blood pressure and kind of like a lot of stuff that's associated with metabolic syndrome, being overweight, etc. Okay, but LDL, high LDL on its own, I don't know this for sure, but what I'm hearing and what I'm reading is high LDL on its own doesn't appear to be necessarily bad. Anyways, I digress slightly. Okay, let's get to some questions here. All right, this person says I need to take more. Okay, something they can improve upon for the following week. I need to take more food to work with me. All right, listen, give me something specific. How much food are you going to take to work with you? What are you doing to plan to make things more successful for yourself? Taking more food to work with you is not really like that doesn't really say much, okay? So give me something specific. Always when you tell me what you're going to improve upon, tell me something specific, okay? All right, next question here. Eating all my food before it gets too late at night. Sometimes I feel like I'm eating too much at 10 p.m. Okay, well then eat more earlier in the day, okay? But it doesn't matter. You're not going to get fat from eating at night, okay? What matters is your total daily caloric intake, okay? Obviously, the macros matter, but in a general sense, it's just your daily calories. When you have those calories, it isn't going to make that much of a difference, okay? If any difference at all. So if I go over limit for carbs, fats, as well as daily calories, should I stop eating even if I'm under protein for the day? Well, it's going to push you over your calories. If you eat, your protein that you're supposed to eat, but you overeat your fat and your carbohydrates, obviously, right? So this is a really, I'm tempted to answer both ways on this one, but I do want you to be within that caloric restriction that I have you in. But protein is really, really important. Protein is not the macronutrient. There's not the macronutrient to be skipping out when you're trying to get leaner and improve your strength. Okay. All right. If you want to gain weight, then have less protein. Really. Okay. Have more fat and carbs. Have the energy. Have the true energy sources, which are fat and carbohydrates. Okay. I realize that they all contain energy, but protein is much harder to convert to fat than fat or carbohydrates. All right, so listen, just be very, very careful with it. Okay, the answer is stay within your caloric confinements. Listen, if you're off by 10 grams of protein or whatnot, just have all your protein. Okay, but you shouldn't be drastically off. Okay, if you are, you need to reevaluate your diet. Okay, that should not happen. You should be, at this point in time in the challenge, listen, we're like 55 days into the challenge. We should have a system down, okay? Ideally. Weight was measured mid-afternoon rather than my regular first thing in the morning. Not sure if that affects. Okay, talking about body weight. Was diet non-compliant 2 days this week. Was my birthday. Okay, well, happy birthday to you. All right. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up, just move forward, okay? Improve. Focus on always trying to improve and don't live in the past, right? All right, so message of the day. This doesn't really go, the message of the day does not really go with what we just talked about, but, it is really important to remember. So, because I want you to remember this always as you come out of this challenge and move along through your life. That is, you don't have to be extreme to achieve results. You just have to be consistent. You just need to be consistent. You need to be reasonable and consistent. You have to plan, okay? You have to, like anything, you have to plan. You cannot wing stuff, okay? I was going to use the S word, the other S word, that is. Okay, you cannot wing stuff, generally speaking, okay, unless you just don't care, all right? But anything you're working towards or anything you're trying to manage, you cannot wing. Hence the word manage. Right? So, you don't have to be extreme. Okay, I want you to remember this. You don't have to be extreme because a lot of you, I know, have done like super low calorie diets. I know you think you have to do tons of cardio. I know you have to think just more, doing something that is less extreme, but being consistent with it and doing it through a long period of time is going to lend itself to much better results, okay? And you'll be much more successful. You'll be much more successful, okay, doing that. So, all right, that's it. Day 55 wrap. I'll talk to you guys all later. See you guys. Submit, commit. Do not forget to submit and commit. And for those of you who have not done your body fat scan, book it today. Okay? Reach out to me on Slack. All right? I'll talk to you guys all later. See ya.